Hello friends, my name is Tanmay. Today our topic is software. Non-taggable, executable components of a computer. Computer software, also called software, is a set of instructions and documentations that tells a computer what to do or how to perform a task. Software includes all different programs on a computer, such as applications and the operating system. Software is a generic term used to refer to applications, scripts and programs that run on devices. It can be thought of as the variable part of a computer, while hardware is the invariable part. The two main categories of software are application software and system software. Software is a set of instructions, data, or programs used to operate computers and execute specific tasks. Software instructions that tell a computer what to do. Software comprises the entire set of programs, procedures, and routines associated with the operations of a computer systems. The term was coined to differentiate these instructions from hardware, i.e. the physical components of computer systems, and software is a set of instructions, data, or programs used to operate computers and execute specific tasks. It is the opposite of hardware, which describes the physical aspects of a computer. Software is a generic term used to refer to applications, scripts, and programs that run on a device. It can be thought of as the variable part of a computer, while hardware is the invariable part. The two main categories of software are application software and system software. An application is software that fulfills a specific need or performs tasks. System software is designed to run a computer's hardware and provides a platform for applications to run on top of. Other types of software include programming software, which provides the programming tools. Software developers need a middleware which sits between system software and applications, and driver software, which operates computer devices and peripherals. Early software was written for specific computers and sold with the hardware it ran on. In the 1918, software began to be sold on floppy disks and later on CDs and DVDs. Today, most software is purchased and directly downloaded over the internet. Software can be found on vendor websites or application service provider for a website. The most common type of software application software is a computer software package that perform a specific functions for a user or in some cases for another application. An application can be self-contained or it can be a group of programs that run the applications for the user. Examples of modern applications include office suites, graphic software, databases and database management programs, web browsers, word processors, software development tools, image editors, and communications platforms. These system software programs are used to run computers, application programs, and hardware. System software coordinates the activities and functions of the hardware and the software. In addition, it controls the operations of the computer hardware and provides an environment or platform for all the type of software to work in. The OS is the best examples of system software. It manages all the other computer programs. Other examples of system software include the firmware, computer language, translators, and system utilities. Or driver software, also known as device drivers. This software is often considered a type of system software. Device drivers control the devices and peripherals connected to a computer, enabling them to perform their specific tasks. Every device that is connected to a computer needs at least one device driver to function. Examples include a software that comes with any non-standard hardware, including special game controllers, as well as the software that enables standard hardware such as USB storage devices, keyboards, headphones, and printers. Middleware. The term middleware describes software that mediates between applications and system software, or between two different kinds of application software. For example, middleware enables Microsoft Windows to talk to Excel and Word. It is also used to send a remote work request from an application in a computer that has one kind of OS to an applications in a computer with a different OS. It also enables newer applications to work with legacy ones. Programming software. Computer programmers use programming software to write code. Programming software and programming tools enable developers to develop, write, test, and debug other software programs. Examples of programming software include assemblers, compilers, debuggers, and interpretations. All software provides the directions and data direction and data computers need to work and meet users needs to work and meet users needs. However, the two different types application software and the system software work in distinctly different ways. Application software consists of many programs that perform specific functions for end users, such as writing reports and navigating websites. Applications can also perform tasks for other applications. Applications on a computer cannot run on their own. They require a computer's OS along with other supporting system software programs to work. These desktop applications are installed on a user's computer and use the computer memory to carry out tasks. They take up space on the computer's hard drive and do not need an internet connections to work. However, desktop applications must adhere to the requirements of the hardware devices they run on. Web applications, on the other hand, only require internet access to work. They do not rely on the hardware and system software to run. Consequently, users can launch web applications from devices that have a web browser. Since the components responsible for the application functionality are on the server, users can launch the app from Windows, Mac, Linux, or any other OS. System software sits between the computer hardware and the application software. Users do not interact directly with the system software as it runs in the background, handling the basic functions of the computer. This software coordinates a system's hardware and software so users can run a high level application. Software to perform specific actions. System software executes when a computer system boots up and continues running as long as the system on. The software development life cycle is a framework that project managers use to describe the stages and tasks associated with designing software. The first steps in the design life cycle are planning the effort and then analyzing the needs of the individuals who will use the software and creating detailed requirements. After the initial requirements analysis, the design phase aims to specify how to fulfill those users' requirement. The next step is implementation, where development work is completed and then software testing happens. The maintenance phase involves any tasks required to keep the system running. The software design includes descriptions of the structure of the software that will be implemented, data models, interfaces between system components, and potential The algorithms the software engineer will use the software design process to transform user requirements into a form that computer programs can use to do the software coding and implementation. The software engineers develop the software design iteratively, adding detail and correcting the design as they develop it. Architectural design is a foundational design which identifies the overall structure of the system, its main components and their relationships with one another using architectural design tools. High level design. This is the second layer of design that focuses on how the systems, along with all its components, can be implemented in forms of modules supported by a software stack. A high-level design describes the relationships between data flow and the various modules and functions of the system. The detailed design, the third layer of design, focuses on all the implementation details necessary for the specified architecture. Software quality measure if the software meets both its functional and non-functional requirements. Functional requirements identify what the software should do. They include technical details, data manipulations and processing, calculations of any other specific functions that specifies what an application aims to accomplish. Non-functional requirements, also known as quality attributes, determine how the system should work. Non-functional requirements include portability, disaster recovery, and security and privacy and usability. Software testing detects and solves technical issues in the software source code and assesses the overall usability, performance, security, and compatibility of the product to ensure it meets its requirements. Accessibility, the degree to which a diverse group of people, including individuals who require adaptive technologies such as voice recognitions and screen magnifiers, can comfortably use the software. The suitability of the software for use in a variety of environments such as with different OS devices and browsers. Efficiency, the ability of the software to perform well without wasting energy, resources, effort, time, or money. Functionality, software's ability to carry out its specified functions. Installability, the ability of the software to be installed in a specified environment. Localizations, the various languages, time zones, and other such features a software can function in. Maintainability, how easily the software can be modified to added and remove and improve features, fix bugs, and etc. Performance: how fast the software performs under a specific load. Portability: the ability of the software to be easily transferred from one location to another. Reliability: the software's ability to perform required functions under specific conditions for a defined period of time without any errors. Scalability: the measure of the software's ability to increase or decrease performance in response to changes in its processing demands. Security: the software's ability to protect against unauthorized access. Invasions of privacy, theft, data loss, malicious software, and etc. Testability: how easy it is to test the software. Usability: how easy it to use the software. To maintain software quality once it depends with deployed, developers must consistently adapt it to meet new customer requirements and handle problems customers identify. This includes improving functionality, fixing bugs, and adjusting software code to prevent issues. How long a product lasts on the market depends on developers' ability to keep us with these maintenance requirements. Software is a collection of programs and data that tell a computer how to perform specific tasks. Software often includes associated software documentations. This is a contrast to hardware from which the system is built and which actually performs the work at the lowest programming level. Executable code consists of machine language instructions supported by an individual's process, typically a central processing unit or a graphics processing unit. Machine language consists to group of binary values signifying processor instructions that change the state of the computer from its preceding state. For example, an instructions may changes the value stored in a particular storage location in the computer, an effect that is not directly observable to the user. An instructions may also invoke one of many input or output operations. For example, displaying some text on a computer screen, quizzing state changes that should be visible to the user. The processor executes the instructions in the order they are provided unless it is instructed to jump to a different instructions or is interrupted by the operating system. As of 2024, most personal computers, smartphones, devices, and servers have processors with multiple execution units or multiple processors performing computations together. So, computing has become a much more concurrent activity than in the past. The majority of software is written in a high level programming languages, for example Python, JavaScript, Visual Basic, Delphi, Perl, PHP, ECMAScript, Ruby, C#, and Java. They are easier and more efficient for programmers because they are closer to natural languages than machine languages. High level languages are translated into machine language using a compiler, an interpreter, or a combination of the two. Software may also be written in a low level assembly language, for example C, C++, assembly, and Fortran. Assembly languages have a strong correspondence to the computer's machine language instructions and are translated into machine language using an assembler. An algorithm for what would have been the first piece of software was written by Ada Lovelace in the 19th century. For the planned analytical engine, she created a proof to show how the engine would calculate Bernoulli numbers. Because of the proofs and the algorithms, she is considered the first computer programmer. The first theory about software prior to the creations of computers as we know them today was proposed by Alan Turing in his 1936 Uncomputable Numbers with an application to anticipating problems. This eventually led to the creations too of the academic fields of computer science and software engineering. Both fields study software and its creations. Computer science is the theoretical study of computer and software, whereas software engineering is the applications of engineering principles to development of software. In 2000, Fred Shapiro, a librarian at the Yale Law School, published a letter revealing that John Wilder took his 1958 paper, The Teaching of Concrete Mathematics, contained the earliest known usage of the term software found in a search of Chester's electronic archives, predating the Oxford English Dictionary's citations by 2 years. This led many to credit Tukey with coining the term, particularly in Opteria's published that some years Although Tukey never claimed credit for any such coinage, in 1995 Paul Negotti claimed he had originally coined the term in October 1953. Although he could not find any documents supporting his claim. The earliest known publications of the term software in an engineering context was in August 1953. Richard R. Carhart in a Rand Corporation Research Memorandum. Application software uses the computer system to perform special functions beyond the basic operations of the computer itself. There are many different types of application software because to the range of tasks that can be performed with a modern computer is so large. See list of software. System software manages the hardware behavior as to provide basic functionalities that are required by users of the other software to run properly, if at all. System software is also designed to provide a platform for running application software, and it includes the following operating systems are essential: collections of software that manage resources and provide common services for other software that runs on top of them. Supervisory programs, both loaders, shells, and Windows systems are core of operating systems in practice. An operating system comes bundled with additional software so that a user can potentially do some work with a computer that only has one operating system. Device drivers operate or control a particular type of device that is attached to a computer. Each device needs at least one corresponding device driver because a computer typically has at a minimum at least one input device and at least one output device. A computer typically needs more than one device driver. Utilities are computer programs designed to assist users in the maintenance and care of their computers. Malicious software or malware is a software that is developed to harm or disrupt computers. Malware is closely associated with computer-related crimes, though some malicious programs may have been designed as practical jokes. Desktop applications for such as web browsers and Microsoft Office and LibreOffice and WordPerfect, as well as smartphones and tablet applications. JavaScript scripts are pieces of software traditionally embedded in web pages that are run directly inside the web browser's when a web page is loaded without the need for a web browser plugin. Software written in other programming languages can also be run within the web browser if the software is either translated into JavaScript or if a web browser plugin that supports that languages is installed. The most common examples of the latter is action scripts, which are supported by the Adobe Flash plugin. Web applications which are usually of the web for web pages that are run directly inside the web browsers when a web page is loaded without the need for a web browser plugin. Software written in other programming languages can also be run within the web browser if the software is either translated into JavaScript or if a web browser plugin that supports that language is installed. The most common example of the latter is action scripts. Action scripts which are supported by the Adobe Flash plugins server and web applications which usually run on the web server and output dynamically generated web pages to web browsers using PHP, Java and ASP.NET or even JavaScript that runs on the server. In modern times, these commonly include some JavaScript to be run in the web browsers as well, in which case they typically run partly on the server, partly in the web browser. Plugins and extensions are software that extends or modifies the functionality of another piece of software and require that software be used in order to function. Embedded software resides as a firmware within embedded systems. Device dedicated to a single use or a few uses, such as cars and televisions. In the embedded systems context, there is sometimes no clear distinctions between the system software and the application software. However, some embedded systems run embedded operating system, and these soft systems do retain the distinctions between system software and applications software. Microcode is a special, relatively obscure type of embedded software which tells the processor itself how to execute a machine code. So it is actually a lower level than machine code. It is typically propertial to the processor manufacturer, and any necessary correctionally microcode software updates are supplied by them to users. Thus, an ordinary programmer would not expect to ever have to deal with it. Programming tools are also software in the form of programs or applications that developers use to create, debug, maintain, or otherwise support software. Software is written in one or more programming languages. There are many programming languages in existence, and each has at least one implementations, each of which consists of its own set of programming tools. These tools may be relatively self-contained programs such as compilers, debuggers, interpreters, linkers, and text editors that can be combined to accomplish a task, or they may form an integrated development environment which combines much or all of the functionality of such self-combined tools. IDEs may do this by either invoking the relevant individual tools or by re-implementing their functionality in a new way. An IDE can make it easier to do specific tasks, such as researching for files in a particular project. Many programming language implementations provide the options of using both individual tools or an IDE. People who use modern general-purpose computers usually see three layers of software performing a variety of tasks, platforms, applications, and a user-written software. First of all, let's platform software. The platform includes device drivers and operating systems, and typically a graphical user interface which in a total allow a user to interact with the computer and its peripherals. Platforms software often comes bundled with the computer. On a PC, one will usually have the ability to change the platform software. Application software is what most people think of when they think of software. Typical examples include office, sites, and video games. Application software is often purchased separately from computer hardware. Sometimes applications are bundled with the computer, but that does not change the fact that they run as independent applications. Applications are usually independent programs from the operating system, though they are often tailored for specific platforms. Most users think of compilers, databases, and other system software as applications. User-written software and tailors was systems to meet users' specific needs. User software includes spreadsheet templates and word processor templates. Even email filters are a kind of user software. Users create this software themselves and often overlook how important it is. Depending on how competently the user-written software has been integrated into default application packages, many users may not be aware of the distinctions between the original packages and what has been added by co-workers. Computer software has to be loaded into the computer's storage. Once the software has loaded, the computer is able to execute the software. The involves passing instructions from the application software through the system software to the hardware, which ultimately receives the instructions as machine code. Each instruction causes the computer to carry out operations, moving data, carrying out computations, or altering the control flow of instructions. Data movement to is typically from one place in a memory or to another. Sometimes it involves moving data between a memory and registers, which enable high-speed data access in the CPU. Moving data, especially large amounts of it, can be costly. This is sometimes avoided by using pointers to data instead. Computations include simple operations such as incrementing the value of a variable data element. More complex computations may involve many operations and data elements together. Software quality is very important, especially for commercial and system software. If software is faulty, it can delete a person's work, crash the computer, and do other unexpected things. Faults and errors are called bugs, which are often discovered during alpha and beta testing. Software is often also a victim to what is known as software aging. The progressive performance degradations resulting from a combination of unseen bugs. Many bugs are discovered and fixed through software testing. However, software testing rarely, if ever, eliminates every bug. Some programmers said that every program has at least one more bug. In the waterfall method of software development, separate testing teams are typically employed, but in never approaches collectively term agile software development. Developers often do all their own testing and demonstrate the software to users, clients, and regularly to obtain feedback. Software can be tested through unit testing, regression testing, and other methods which are done manually or most commonly automatically. Since the amount of code to be tested can be large, programs containing command software enable hardware engineering and system operations to function much easier together. The software's license gives the user the right to use the software in the licensed environment, and in the case of free software license also grants other rights such as the right to make copies. Freeware, which includes the category of free trial software or freemium software. As the name suggests, freeware can be used for free. Although in the case of free trials or freemium software, this is sometimes only true for a limited period or of time or with limited functionality. Software available for a fee, which can only be leisurely used on purchase of a license. Software patents, like other type of patents, are theoretically supposed to give an inventor an exclusive time limited license for a detailed idea on how to implement a piece of software or a component of a piece of software. Ideas for useful things that a software could do, and user requirements are not supposed to be patentable, and concrete implementations are not supposed to be patentable either. The latter are already covered by copyright, generally automatically. So software patents are supposed to cover the middle area between requirements and concrete implementations. In some countries, a requirement for the claimed inventions to have an effect on the physical world may also be part of the requirements for a software patent to be held valid. Although since all useful software has effects on the physical world, this requirement may be open to debate. Meanwhile, American copyright law was applied to various aspects of the writing of the software code. Software patents are controversial in the software industry, with many people holding different views about them. One of the sources of controversy is that the aforementioned split between initial ideas and patent does not seem to be honored in practice by patent leverage. For example, the patent for object-oriented programming, which purposed to claim rights over any programming tool implementing the idea of AOP, howsoever implemented. Another source of controversy is the effect on innovations, with many distinguished experts and companies arguing that software is such a fast moving field that software patents merely create a waste, additional litigations cost and risk, and actually retard innovations. In the case of debates about software patents outside the United States, the argument has been made that large American corporations and patent lawyers are likely to be the primary beneficiaries of allowing or continue to allow software patents. Design and implementations of software vary depending on the complexity of the software. For instance, the design and creations of Microsoft Word took much more time than designing and developing Microsoft Notepad, because the former has much more basic functionality. Software is usually developed in integrated development environments. like Eclipse, IntelliJ, and Microsoft Visual Studio that can simplify the process and compile the software. As noted in a different section, software is usually created on top of existing software and the application programming interface that the underlying software provides, like GTK. Java beans of Swing libraries can be categorized by their purpose. For instance, the Spring framework is used for implementing enterprises applications. The Windows Forms library is used for designing graphical user interface. Applications like Microsoft Word and Windows Communications Foundation is used for designing web services. When a program is designed, it relies upon the API. For instance, a Microsoft Windows desktop applications might call API functions in the .NET. Windows Forms library like form1.close and form1.show to close or open the applications. Without these APIs, the programmer needs to write these functionality really themselves. Companies like Oracle and Microsoft provide their own APIs so that many applications are written using their software libraries that usually have numerous API in them. Data structures such as has tables, arrays, and binary trees, and algorithms such as quicksort can be useful for creating software. Computer software has special economic characteristics that make its design, creations, and distributions different from most other economic goods. A person who creates software is called a programmer, software engineer, or software developer, terms that all have a similar meaning. More informal terms for programmer also exist, such as a coder and a hacker. Although use of the latter word may cause confusion because it is more often used to mean someone who illegally breaks into computer systems. Have you ever wondered about what is the correct software definition? If you have, then let us tell you that software is a set of programs. These programs are designed to perform a well-defined function. It can also be said that a program is a sequence of instructions that were written to solve a specific problem. In general, there are three types of software. These three types of system software, application software, and programming software. The word software is also sometimes abbreviated as SW or S from the descriptions, and it must be clear that every program that runs on a computer can be categorized as software. Computer software plays a significant role in making all our lives easier every single day, from the greeting screen of MS Windows to when we switch to the web browsers to use the internet. We are continually interacting with computer software. It is also important to note that the software is considered nothing more than the information that is processed by programs or computer systems in software engineering and computer science. Further, computer hardware and software both interact with one another to execute various commands. Computer's hardware is entirely insignificant without software. This is why students must be familiar with different types of software. In this article, we will explore this topic in greater depth. As mentioned above, there are three types of software. All these types of software perform different functions and hold importance. And in these sections, readers will be able to learn more about the different kinds of software. Let's begin by looking at a system software. The system software can be defined as a collection of programs designed to operate, control, and extend the computer's processing capabilities. Generally, computer manufacturers build system software. The system software products that are written in low-level languages. This means that these products interact with the hardware at a fundamental level. This also indicates that system software serves as an interface between the end users and hardware. Some essential features are associated with system software. Students should be familiar with these features, and for ease of understanding, we have prepared a list of those features. Here goes a faster speed, not easy to design, closer to the system, not very interactive, harder to understand, size is small, hard to manipulate, usually written in low-level languages. Some experts define systems software as being the leading software that is responsible for running a computer. These software activities that hardware and controls and coordinates hardware functioning when the device is turned on. Another vital point to note here is that applications programs are always controlled by system software. Now let's look at some examples of system software examples. Those examples are mentioned below. Okay, thank you.